Hello there and welcome to this CSWatch OCR J276 video where we are starting to look at operating systems. The operating systems content is split over two videos. This is the first part of those videos. So we're going to be having an overview of operating systems, the functions they perform, why they are needed. When you're using an operating system, the key purpose of the operating system is to make sure all the complexity of everything that the operating system does is hidden from the user. The user using the operating system doesn't need to know how to save files in specific sectors on a hard disk drive, or how to program the CPU, or how to make sure you can switch between different applications or different documents. The operating system does that for you. It takes care of all the complexity which a computer brings. The operating system allows the users to manage the hardware by using software, being able to allow the user to interact with the hardware by using software. The user doesn't tell it how to use a graphics card or a sound card or a processor. The operating system knows that and does that for the user. The operating system provides a link between the CPU and memory in different devices. It allows the user to run applications. All these things the operating system does because the average typical computer user doesn't know how to code a piece of hardware to be able to do particular things. The operating system takes all the complexities, hides it, and then lets the user do it in a nice, easy, manageable way. One thing which operating systems need to use are drivers, which are specialist pieces of software which communicate with the hardware. When you plug in a new piece of hardware to begin with, the operating system hasn't got a clue what's going on. It sees that something's being plugged in, and that's about it. When you get a new piece of hardware, so for example when I got my gaming mouse, it came with a little CD which had drivers on it. This software, when I installed it, allowed the operating system to understand the signals which it was being sent. So it could see the signals being sent. It could say, right, okay, that's a mouse who's trying to click on something, and then perform the activities that are needed. Sometimes the operating system has got a list of drivers already with it bundled in, and it picks the most suitable drivers to be used. If it needs to, if something new is connected, it installs the suitable drivers or installs the drivers the user tells it to. Drivers are constantly updated to improve the performance of the hardware, or to add new functionality to the hardware, or to improve what's already there. They can be installed automatically by the operating system if you allow it to, or by the user on demand. Another thing an operating system allows you is an interface, a way to interact with the system. There's two sorts of interfaces you need to know about. Graphical User Interface, or GUI, are the most commonly used interface on computers, on tablets, on mobile phones. It's a nice graphical way to look at things. You can have icons, you've got windows, you've got things you can click on and tap on and drag all over the place. They're easy ones to use. You've also got command line interfaces, which are CLIs, and they require text commands to be entered and require knowledge of the operating system being used and locations of pieces of hardware and devices. CLI operating systems are difficult to use because not only do you need to know the layout and structure of your computer's hard drive and where things are saved, you also need to know the correct commands and how to enter them. Saying that though, command line interfaces for experienced computer users are really more powerful than graphical user interfaces. You can do a hell of a lot more with a CLI than a GUI, but you need to make sure you're happy with the knowledge, you're happy with what's going on before you start tinkering around using a CLI. Some operating systems come with a graphical user interface, but also have a command line interface accessible in the background. So if you want to switch between the two, some operating systems do allow that. So to summarize, operating systems are used to manage hardware. They hide complexities from the users. Drivers will allow the operating system to interact and understand new hardware, and interfaces can either be command line driven, which is textual where you're writing in commands, or graphical, which is what you're used to, clicking on things and loading up from different icons. They both have their own advantages and disadvantages. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Check out Operating Systems Part 2 to make sure you've got the whole picture, and I shall see you in Part 2. See you later.